Hello and welcome to the Golden Temple. June 1984, same place. The Indian Army was faced with one of the most difficult and controversial tasks of flushing out separatist militants from here. It was called Operation Blue Star. In retaliation, some Sikh militants assassinated then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, killed General Vaidya, who was the army chief during the operation. Second in command, General Sundarji, is no more with us. The man who commanded the operation has escaped several attempts on his life and now lives in high security. In his very first interview to any TV channel, Newsec spoke to that man, that soldier, General Kuldeep Singh Brar.
Golden Temple is a sacred shrine for the Sikhs of the world. It's also called Harmandir Sahib, which means abode of God. A military operation was launched on June 5, 1984 to remove the Sikh militants led by Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, holed up inside this sacred shrine. The operation was launched in the face of deteriorating law and order problem created by separatists asking for an independent Punjab. Time magazine reported about Amritsar. These days, it more closely resembles a city of death. Inside the temple compound, fierce Sikh warriors wield submachine guns, guarding against encroachment by government security forces. Outside, the security men keep a nervous vigil, all too aware that bodies of murdered comrades often turn up in the foreign of tiny streets around the shrine. Mark Tully and Satish Jacob wrote, "All terrorists were known by name to the shopkeepers and the householders who live in the narrow alleys surrounding the Golden Temple. The Punjab police must have known who they were, but they made no attempt to arrest them. By this time, Bhindranwale and his men were above the law." The Indian Army stormed the Golden Temple on the night of June 5 under the command of then Major General Kuldeep Singh Brar. The militants in the temple were armed with machine guns, anti-tank missiles and rocket launchers and resisted the army's attempts to dislodge them from the shrine. An Indian army had to use tanks and armored vehicles. The army successfully took control of the Golden Temple on the morning of June 7. The Sikh militants within the Harmandir Sahib were led by Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and former Major General Shah Beg Singh, who had resigned from the Indian Army and fought against it till the end.
On the hindsight, do you think Operation Blue Star was necessary?
Absolutely. I don't think it could have been avoided. I think Mrs. Gandhi tried her best to avoid Operation Blue Star. Till the last minute, she was having secret parleys with the leadership of the Akali Dal, the SGPC, the functionaries of the Golden Temple. But none of them had any authority left. The authority was now totally in the hands of Bhindranwale. Bhindranwale had made up his mind that there should be an independent Sikh state. He wanted the Sikhs, as he said, to be freed from the shackles of Hindu slavery and from Hindu Raj. Pakistan took advantage of the situation. They trained the youth, they motivated them, they armed them, they provided good financial incentives to them, and they motivated them to fight for their own free land. And they said, you are second-class citizens in your country. So the youth was all up in anger. Bhindranwale had motivated them also. There was no law and order left in Punjab. The civil administration had collapsed. The police had lost its authority. There was only one man calling the shots, and that was Bhindranwale. In fact, on the 26th of January, 1984, Bhindranwale hoisted the flag of Khalistan inside the Golden Temple, but no one could do anything about it. He was initially living in Guru Ramdas Sarai and Guru Nanak Niwas, but he decided to move into the Akal Takht. No one has ever gone and lived in the Akal Takht, but he did it. And a stage had come that the law and order situation was collapsing so fast that something had to be done. Pakistan was all ready and all set to recognize Khalistan the moment it is declared. And there were a possibility of Khalistan being declared in the next few days. And imagine if Khalistan was declared and Pakistan recognized them, they would repeat a Bangladesh on us. They would cross the borders, they would come to the assistance of the newly formed Khalistan. Punjab police would desert and join in with the Khalistan forces. There would be a mass exodus of Hindus from Punjab towards Haryana and Delhi, a mass exodus of Sikhs from Delhi and Haryana towards Punjab. There would be a 1947 type of riot situation. I think it was a task beyond the capability of the army, and something had to be done before it became too late.
So what was the immediate provocation? Why June 3rd?
You see, June 3rd, unfortunately, Longowal had ordered mass agitation in Punjab. He had now passed orders that there will be no movement of food grains within Punjab. An emergency situation had been declared. Mrs. Gandhi was still trying to make sure that food grains are able to be moved in Punjab, but nothing was happening. And therefore, right till as long as possible, she kept on providing them with various compromises as far as the Anandpur Sahib resolution is concerned. She was prepared to give in to a number of their demands, but they wanted everything and nothing short of everything. So a stage came when she then decided that if I have no other alternative left, I have to save the nation. I have to preserve the integrity of this nation, and she ordered Operation Blue Star.
Can you give us an insight to the operation? Was Mrs. Indira Gandhi personally involved?
Well, she gave her directions that she wanted the militants to be removed from the temple, Bhindranwale and the rest of the militants. She wanted the sanctity to be restored inside the Gurdwara. She wanted the operation to be carried out as speedily as possible so that there would be no repercussions. She wanted the use of minimum force. She didn't want any destruction of property or of religious sentiments. So she gave her instructions. General Vaidya, who was the chief, passed those instructions on down the line. And none of us had any doubts about those instructions.
So how tough was the operation?
We were told there will be about 500 people inside with a few double-barrel guns and antiquated weapons. But what turned out when we went in was that there were over 2,000 sophisticated weapons inside. There were machine guns, there were rocket launchers, there were bazookas, there were Sten guns, there were revolvers, there were automatic rifles, there were grenades. The whole temple had been barricaded. There was not a opening anywhere inside that complex which had not been barricaded or blocked. I mean, it was like going into action with your hands tied behind your back. Instructions that you cannot fire at the Harmandir Sahib. Instructions that you must make sure that all the women and children and innocent civilians are not harmed. Yet they were all mixed up together. How do you separate them? We wanted to separate them. We wanted to find some solution by which we'd go to battle only with the militants. That's why we were appealing to the innocent people to come out, but they didn't heed our advice. So it was a damn tough operation. When bullets were flying at our men from across Harmandir Sahib, from the opposite direction, and our men were being killed like mosquitoes once they are sprayed upon, it's damn tough to give them orders that they will not return that fire.
The operation began on June 3rd and ended on June 6th. What was the sequence of events?
No, June 3rd, I won't say the operation started. June 3rd, we laid a cordon around the Golden Temple. There were just paramilitary forces and a little bit of army around there. There was reconnaissance going on. There were plans being prepared. The actual operation only started on the 5th of June, around about 10:30 at night, when we actually entered the Golden Temple. Before that, okay, in the morning, some of the observation towers, which were totally dominating the area, had to be removed because these people were there on top of the observation towers, and if our troops went in, they'd come under very heavy fire. So we had to remove those lookouts with rocket launchers, knock them out, so that the observation that was provided to these people was not available. But the actual operation started after 10:30 on the 5th of June, and it ended before noon on the 6th.
Okay, and is it true that you went inside the Golden Temple just one day before the operation started and dressing yourself up as a civilian, you went inside?
No, I didn't go inside. I was just outside the Golden Temple trying to observe the routine of the militants there and trying to get an idea of the layout.
And General Shah Beg was also there?
Shah Beg was there. Shah Beg Singh was inside. I knew Shah Beg very well, and I knew what we were up against, he being the military commander of Bhindranwale, and I knew that we have a tough fight during that night. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and that's what it was.
He fought a war with you against Bangladesh.
Yeah, 1971, we went into Dhaka together.
Were there extrajudicial killings and human rights violations? And why was the Akal Takht fired upon? The soldier answers all this and more on the other side of this break. Keep watching NewsX.